what I am. You know, right now I'm here for a reason. That's because God is, He's just been moving in my life just remarkably. And as for Bible studies, when I first went to Bible studies 2 years ago, I couldn't even talk to without turning my head down, or without crying, or without just getting emotionally drained, you know. And it was sometimes heartbreaking because I couldn't get out what I really wanted to say. But tonight, just being here, it's all God, nothing but God. Just God just moving in my life, just changing something that I never thought would happen. It's real. It's alive. He's alive. You know, God just is, man, it's awesome. Mark was going to show something on the screen, a song that just always touches me when I'm singing it. Wait. Yeah, right here it says, love shine down on this heart of mine. You lead me to the water of eternal life. I once was lost, but now I'm found. It's a brand new day, and every day is a brand new day. When we wake up breathing, you know, just noticing that we're saved, we're walking with God, and just on your knees, you know, giving everything to God, knowing that He's there, going to be there for you. He's there no matter what. And tonight, I just want to, if I get emotional, it's not emotional of my past and what I went through, but it's emotional of how it is now. You know, how God has just changed my life, and how happy I am, how just,
Amen.
It's just sometimes hard to explain, because I look at everybody here, and I come every Sunday and every Thursday, you know, and I love all you guys there, and all I get is just positive, uplifting, you know, always just, you know, so much just disciple in here, disciple after disciple after disciple, and it's crazy just being in the situation right now up here. It's something, and I'm still amazed. I'm here. I'm so just right now just trying to focus on what I gotta say, but just, man, it's exciting. Just, man, still emotionally draining just getting it, but I first want to thank just Pastor Johnny for allowing me to just do this, you know, for giving me the opportunity to give a testimony. He asked me to do this like about a couple months ago, but he wanted me to do the projector, but, you know, I kept on like kind of staying away from him, trying not to even say nothing, and just this last week, I've been just getting into word, and God just spoke to me and said, you know, just ask him. So last Sunday when I got there to help set up, I was talking to all the brothers and telling them, yeah, you know, I think I'm ready to test my bill. So Pastor Johnny gave a word, you know, he was talking about just winning people over testimony. So, man, I got excited. Oh, it's for me. So I went to ask him. And after I asked him, I was like, oh, man, what I just get myself into? Like I said, this is the most probably first people I ever talked to in my life. My whole life, I was never educated, you know. Just seeing the people, you know, my beautiful wife. Just seeing a lot of people in here is just amazing. You just, that people I love. I've seen people that I haven't seen for a while, and I know what they're doing, and I know they're serving God too, and it's crazy. Like one of my buddies is here, and I haven't seen him for, you know, not too long, but growing up with him, people probably never even acknowledge that we even would be here right now on this spot, and him serving God and abundant living, and me serving God, and just seeing him here, you know, just acknowledging, and, you know, just being here, being a friend. He loves being a friend, just to show me, you know, that he's proud of me, that you know, we did it. You know, this is, there's always a change in life. You know, with God on your side, everything's possible. And just, man, I got all my kids here, you know. I mean, just, that's prayer right there. Just them being here right now tonight, you know, supporting me. I love them so much. You know, I put them through so much. And just for them just to come and acknowledge, you know, that I'm not the same no more. You know, I'm not the man that was in. Like I said, everybody in here is just, man, I love everybody here. Every time I come here, it's something new I learned. It's something different I learned just from the people, the pastor. It's like a little kid. When I come here, I'm like a little kid. Like, who's going to preach? Who's going to talk? You know, it's exciting. It's exciting because it's not always the same thing. You know, it's always something on the move. Like, just like the church, people are worried about the move. No, the move. If the church is moving, people are getting saved. People are getting healed. People are getting delivered. We're not worried about the move. We're going to work about saving souls. And I can see that happening. I never went to a prayer room in my life until I got to this church. I never been so discipled in my life by just coming to this movement. You know, just, that's why when I look at people, man, when we come to set up in the mornings and stuff, man, it's amazing when you can learn so much about the brothers in here, Mark, all these guys is this disciple. Like I said, this church is a disciple church. This is a disciple church because I learned so much just from just set up and being here and listening to these men, when I'm going through things, they're there for me, The pastors, when I want to talk to them, they know exactly what I'm going through. They know exactly what to say, just to get me by or know what I'm going through. And just tonight, I just want to just tell everybody, I love you guys and I thank you for just this opportunity. It's been a struggle. Tomorrow, I kind of got the two, because me and my wife will be married 13 years tomorrow. So that wasn't me. I was tore up like everybody else tore up. So I wasn't even thought I would even be like married still. I almost lost 13 kids, the grandson, the wife, everything that that man, God has blessed me to to set that foundation for everybody in that family. For me and my wife, and she's kept me through everything. Got me through all this. But I just want to start just like 13 years ago. Meeting my wife, we struggled so much in our life. We met each other 13 years. We got married 4 months since we started dating. I don't know if it was my Razor scooter or what that's just so how much love. The first year we were married, right away we were homeless for almost 7.5, 8 months. It was a struggle. I met her. She had 7 kids. I had none, so I got into a whole other little family that I really didn't know how to parent. I know nothing, but I love my wife, and I knew that she came with. So we struggled for 7 months. That was one of the worst 7 months of my life, because knowing that I was working and still doing what I got to do, and I still couldn't feed my kids. I still couldn't do stuff. Everything I worked for, every time I go work 5 days a week, struggle 6 days a week. But if the motels, everything was so much, I had nothing to pay for, no food or nothing. So I would literally just not want to go home because I couldn't afford to feed my kids. I couldn't afford to buy diapers for my kids. I couldn't afford, so I just sit on a curb and think trying to think, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Just getting by all those times and just struggling for those months without nothing, without food, and just knowing that God still, not even I'm serving God, He got me through those times. He got me through those times because He knew I was going to be here this day. He knows I was going to be here. And just finally finally found a place, and it went from the beginning. We had so much kids. A lot of people, the finances got rough again. We had some people found out how much kids we had, so it was a constant move, because it was either the finances or just we couldn't be there because we have so much kids. It was a lot of kids, so it kept on happening. We'd be homeless again, and it was like a cycle. And it was sad because when I was a young kid, I went through that same cycle. I was a little 8-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid with my brothers and sisters, not in school, homeless for picking up cans or doing the things I had to do, just try to help my little sister come things. And I was thinking to myself, man, I'm getting my kids in the same cycle that my parents told me, or my mom did, And it was just getting harder and harder and harder and harder, everything I did. But by by being faithful with God, since I've been going to this church, we never had stayed in the place for more than 1 year. And since we've been serving God and being faithful to God, being God, we'll be 3 years in our home right now. That's knowing He's real, knowing I would never think I would be in this situation right now. My buddies probably look at me like, man, these people right here, David and Paula, they seen this me from the beginning. They see me back and forth, in and out. Oh, I was being that two-faced Christian. I was being that fake Christian. Because I was like, okay, I'm good. Oh, no, I'm not. No, okay, I'm good. No, I'm not. That was me. I'm not going to lie. That was me because it was hard. It was hard to fight my addiction. It was hard to miss, to be with my pride. I was but these two people, if you look a book of the disciples, they'll be in there. I'm telling you, these two people will be in there for disciples. They're there not just at church, not just at Bible studies, but they'll be at my home just to say how we're doing. They take us just out of their own time when they should have been spending time together to take us somewhere because they wanted to just check how we're doing in our walk with God. That's what sometimes we needed. Sometimes we were struggling and they're there. They're there every second something happened. I go and talk about Marvel, everybody. These people are there. That's why Praise Chapel is an exciting church. I tell everybody, it's like, man, I go and talk to everybody and they're always lifting me up, always getting me through my rough times, always getting me through situations that I wouldn't even think about, like situations this week. Just, man, I was so excited, so pumped up, like, man, I'm going to get it, I'm going to do it. And then things started happening. And, someone at our house had something, but, I wasn't going to let the enemy in and take that away from me because I knew that he had a plan for me. People call me, Pastor Willie, that's not, just praying over a phone over me, things like that is what gets you by. It's not him either. It's God. It's God talking. Pray for this brother. He needs to get by. He needs to do the things that God hasn't planned to do. And just like I said, for me being up here, it's a big step. It's something that, man, I've been struggling with now. Just coming here right now, I was like, man, there it goes. I'm standing back. I never stand back and everything like that. But it's God. God has done so much in my life. I could go on for hours and hours and hours and hours to say what he has done so much in my life. He just changed my life so remarkably. It sometimes amazes me sometimes, but then again it doesn't because he's God. He's the one that comes and when I'm down and out and go like a pray to him, and ask for nothing back. Never ask for nothing back, but just to be there. Just to be faithful, just to be obedient. Be a man of God. Show examples for my children. I was for years and years, man, I was an alcoholic, like, super bad. Like, alcoholic. Pastor Woody was talking about that cup today. That was me. That was me at that job site with that cup. That was me with that coffee cup in that job site. That's how bad an alcoholic I was. That's what, man, see, things like that was meant for me because him talking about that, like, man, that was me, And I had to come talking, I'm like, man, this guy's on point. That was me. I was an alcoholic. I never treated my wife with no kind of respect. I treated her like dirt. I treated her like she was nothing. All I thought was if I give her a check or money, she'd be happy. I wasn't physically abusing her, but emotional abusing her. I was never there for her to say. I never knew what went on in my household. I was lost every single day. I'd go home not know nothing went on. I'd just go money, drink, go to sleep, or do what I have to do with my friends or do something. Half the time we'd be fighting. I'd leave for days, a couple days. To do, because I was afraid just to face the fact, that this is reality. This is reality, But through prayer, after prayer, my wife always praying for me. Always prayed for me. Where I'll call her, she used to go sometimes the Bible studies without me. Like, man. And sometimes when I don't know, it's like I was an alcoholic, like a real guy. I almost lost everything. I had 13 kids. I almost lost 13 children. Man, that's a lot, that's a lot of children. I love all my children. I set the worst example for my sons. I took them like under my wing, but not in a good thing. They started following every bad thing I did. One of them ended up in juvie, and that was because my fault. Not no one's fault, it was my fault, because they followed me and I allowed it to happen. So it's time for me to turn that around That was me. I said that from. I had to go and visit my son in juvie. Go look at him like, man, this is my fault. This is my fault I put him here because he followed the ways I did, and I allowed him because I was pumping him up or just giving him like, oh yeah, it's cool, don't trade off my hand to your mom, don't worry. But that was all my fault. But through God, it's amazing how he just works in my life. I see it just in this whole church, and this church is so powerful because there's so many speakers, so much men of God, so much women of God, so much everything. Just right now, being up here, Burton is one that really one of the things that said there's no shame in doing for God. There's no shame if you do